So ADA currently finds itself on a downtrend, following from my previous update where I mentioned how I was tracking this WXR structure, and I mentioned how I was looking out for the price of ADA to be within this Y wave, which had the potential to reach around the 30-cent range. Now, as it stands, it looks like we have a correction that's forming, made up of a WXY structure. So if I was to bring in the Fib tool, I'll bring this to 29.63 cents. So here you can see that the Y wave ended up tapping into its typical range between 1 to 1.236. And so if we manage to find support within this range, then what we could see is a reversal. However, if we were to exceed this range and continue to go even lower, to the point where we then retrace towards the 1.618 level, that would then trigger a 5-wave move to the downside, which then further confirm that we are bearish. And so if the price of ADA was to breach below this level, the wave X at 25.36 cents, again, that would then further confirm that we are bearish. And it's possible that the price of ADA would then breach below this level here, which is the wave 3 at around 22 cents, give or take. And so, yeah, what we need in order for the price of ADA to be bullish is to, first and foremost, find support within this range here. And the next key region to be keeping in hand will be the 50 to 18.2% retracement level. And so assuming that we ended up bottoming out at 26.05 cents, next key range to be keeping in hand will be this range between 28.58 cents to 30.68 cents. Now, if the price of ADA was to get rejected within this range, again, that would then further confirm that we're bearish, and what we could have forming is a deeper correction made up of a bigger WXY structure. However, if we were to exceed this range, that would then confirm that we're bullish rather, and what would have forming is a bigger WXY structure to the upside, and this structure would then form this Y wave here. And so, yeah, two key regions to be keeping in mind will be this one here and this one here, if we were to find support within this range. Now, I mentioned in the previous update that if the price of ADA was to continue to make moves to the upside to the point where we then breach above this level here, which is the wave 1, that would then confirm that we are bullish, and we ended up completing this move to the downside. However, as it stands, it looks like we're still trading below this level, and so I'm still looking out for the price of ADA to be within this 4th wave. And this 4th wave could then be made up of an internal WXY structure. So if I just remove some of this, just so it's more clearer. So what I'm looking out for is for the price of ADA to be within this 4th wave, which would then be made up of an internal WXY structure. And this internal structure to form the wave 4 could either be formed based on this structure that I've drawn out, or it's possible that the W wave ended up forming over here, and the X wave ended up forming over here, and what we are forming is the Y wave, which is also made up of an internal WXY structure. And so nevertheless, regardless of whichever structure is forming, I'm still looking for a 3-wave move to form this wave 4, and to then see a reversal to the downside, to then see the wave 5 play out. And given that we ended up seeing this move to the upside where we ended up breaching above this level here, what I'll do is I'll adjust the wave 5 target, which is this range. So if I bring in the Fib tool once again, and yeah, the wave 5 would typically reach anywhere between 1.236 to 1.618 of the wave 4. So if I adjust this, you can see that the price of ADA has the potential to reach anywhere between around 17.74 cents to 20.29 cents. And from then on out, it will be interesting to see if we see a continuation to the downside to the point where the price of ADA will then tap into this range between 10 cents to 15 cents. And reason being is because as it stands, I am tracking a correction to form the wave X, and this wave X looks to be made up of an internal WXY structure. So if the price of ADA was to breach below the wave W, and the wave W sits at 22 cents, that will then further confirm that what we are forming is a deeper correction made up of this WXY structure. And so I'm looking at for the price of ADA to be within this Y wave, and this Y wave has the potential to tap into this range between 10 cents to 15 cents. And yeah, from then on out, I will be looking out for that reversal to the upside where the Y wave has the potential to reach some high targets. But of course, that's something I'm going to be looking out for in the days and weeks to come, and I will keep you guys updated.